Hi, thank you for watching Digging to China. I'm Dong Shang. In October, Elon Musk's personal wealth reached $222 billion, the richest person in the world, according to Bloomberg's Billionaires Index. Thanks to both Musk's Tesla shares and his majority stake in privately held SpaceX, where he serves as CEO, Musk has accumulated vast wealth. Tesla owed much of its success to its Shanghai factory. Built within a year in 2019, it has surpassed its Fremont, California plant in production. Today, Tesla likely makes more than half its vehicles in China. Chinese sales helped to propel Tesla to its first full year of profitability in 2020. Tesla's stock price has more than doubled over the past year as its production capacity has grown, valuing the company at about $1 trillion. No doubt, its China strategy has played a role. With the U.S. tightening technology exports to China in 2018, President Xi Jinping pledged to make China the world's future innovation and industrial center. Key to his plan was Elon Musk and his Tesla. Mr. Musk had long expressed interest in a plant in China that would help Tesla sell cars for less. But he didn't want to take on a Chinese partner in a joint venture as other foreign automakers had. The Chinese government embraced Tesla with open arms. It has offered Mr. Musk's company cheap land, loans, tax benefits, and subsidies. They even allowed Tesla to run its own plant without a local partner, a first for a foreign automaker in China. In July 2018, Tesla signed a deal to build a factory in Shanghai. Beijing's embrace of Mr. Musk was so warm that at a meeting in 2019, Premier Li Keqiang offered to give him a Chinese green card. Mr. Musk let the premier take a Tesla for a spin within the gated Zhongnanhai leadership compound. According to Mr. Musk, Giga Shanghai, as the factory is known, is the best quality, lowest cost, and also low drama. However, there was a string attached. Chinese leaders had grown frustrated with domestic electric vehicle companies' performance and saw Tesla as an opportunity to reset the country's auto industry. Tesla would be expected to localize its supply chain and groom Chinese manufacturers. The aim was to accelerate the domestic industry. Beijing is seeking what the business world calls the catfish effect. Toss an aggressive fish into a pool so that established denizens will swim harder. Miao Wei, the head of the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, who negotiated on the deal with Mr. Musk, openly discussed how Tesla could propel underachieving local EV startups. He likened it to lobbing a predatory catfish into a pond full of sluggish fish. Tesla proved an effective catfish. Chinese-made Tesla restored the confidence of Chinese investors in the electric vehicle market, helping supercharge domestic startups that had struggled. For example, NIO Inc. was close to collapse, but secured investment in April 2020 and saw a revival in its share price. Same happened to two Chinese peers that sell premium electric vehicles, Li Auto Inc. and XPeng Inc. The three companies' electric vehicle sales are likely to total more than 270,000 this year, up from around 12,000 in 2018. It's also big business for Chinese suppliers. Tesla said its Shanghai factory bought 86% of outsourced Model 3 and Model Y components within China in the fourth quarter of 2020, compared with 73% for Tesla cars made in its California factory. In early 2021, Tesla said it had reached a domestic supply sourcing ratio of over 90% at its Shanghai factory. Tom Zhu, its top China executive, has said Tesla is on track to source all of its vehicle components locally by year-end. Tesla has sent engineers to train workers, help with design and research, and impart know-how at firms ranging from battery maker to die casting processors. Tesla commissioned what it called the world's largest casting machines from local manufacturer in 2019. The machines, which Mr. Musk described as about the size of a small house, can make the rear body of a car consisting of a single piece, reducing the number of individual components and reducing costs. However, 2021 is also the year marked the end of honeymoon between Tesla and the Chinese government. Rival electric vehicle companies in China are now taking aim at Tesla. Many of them unhappy about what they perceive as officials' preferential treatment of a foreign car maker. They have done so by leveraging Beijing's broader clampdown on how data is handled by tech giants. For instance, two companies, Qihoo 360 and SAC Motor Corp. The two companies in March urged China's legislature to address national security concerns associated with foreign electric vehicle makers. The target was Tesla. Zhou Hongyi, Qihoo 360's founder, suggests that China adopt the laws and the regulations limiting the collection of geographic information from users of electric vehicles, according to state media reports. State media also said Chen Hong, SAC's Communist Party secretary and chairman, proposed that the collection, storage, and commercial use of data collected by these vehicles be filed and managed by the Chinese government. As a result, the government in May proposed strict regulations on automotive data collection, limiting the kind of data electric car makers could collect and forbidding them to transfer outside China any information gathered from users on China's roads and highways. These proposals became final in August, and then the Personal Data Protection Law took effect on November 1st. The law further restrained the company's ability to gather digital information from Chinese consumers. The new requirements likely will make it harder for Tesla to develop and deploy autonomous vehicles in China, because these rely on an array of sensors that collect vast amounts of data. Sensing the changing political circumstance and the regulatory challenges, Mr. Musk has been busy mending the relationship by speaking positively about China. When the Chinese Communist Party marks its 100th anniversary in July, Mr. Musk said on Twitter, "The economic prosperity that China has achieved is truly amazing, especially in infrastructure. I encourage people to visit and see for themselves." Then, at a conference hosted by China's internet regulator in September, Mr. Musk called China a global leader in digitization in a pre-recorded video. In another pre-recorded video for another conference earlier that month, Mr. Musk praised the Chinese automakers as the most competitive in the world. Tesla thus finds itself falling within a familiar historical pattern in which Beijing uses a grant of access to its vast market to advance China's own industrial capability. After Apple brought its iPhone supply chain to China years ago, many of the Chinese companies Apple trained also became suppliers to Chinese smartphone manufacturers and helped them making better phones. Now, Huawei, Xiaomi, and Vivo phones are very popular in Europe, India, Southeast Asia, and Africa, if not the United States. Another example is Microsoft, which first opened a China office in 1992. Microsoft recently said it would shut down the localized version of its LinkedIn platform in China, citing the challenging operating environment. Tesla's warm relationship with the Chinese government could sour further. Mr. Musk could come under pressure to share even more manufacturing knowledge with Chinese suppliers. And he would have little choice but to do it if he hoped to stay in the market. Mr. Musk may have to settle for a sizable, though not dominant, position in the Chinese market, some analysts suggest. However, Mr. Musk remains personally popular in China. Chinese citizens admire his maverick behavior in the US. Aspiring Chinese tech entrepreneurs look to him for inspiration, tracking moves of the Silicon Valley Iron Man. Some Chinese businesses have been trademarked products using the Chinese translation of his name, 马斯克. But ironically, the Silicon Valley Iron Man is quite conforming to Chinese authority. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly.